Thank you all again for coming out again. My name is Inside Beyond the Speeds. I'm not actually the host of the event, but I'm a spoken word boy here in San Diego from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I would like to present a spoken word piece entitled Slavery by Another Name. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Good, good. Cell phones off, please. Thank you. Again, this piece is entitled Slavery by Another Name. Chains. Sound off banging. Sounds of clanking. Sounds of innocent brothers singing. Pickaxe swinging. Sweat dripping off your forehead, connected to the brother next to you. Thinking about the baby you left behind. But to the man with the shotgun, out of sight, out of mind. You just have to grind. Black faces, no replacing the time. Their memories fade. They've been waging war on us for ages, but he controls the pages, so he can write whatever he wants. So he hides it in a book, so controlling our thoughts is easy. But believe me, your thoughts aren't pleasing. I'm not a killer, but you push me. I was the dealer, but you pushed me. Feeling like you took me from the block where I need to make money, but it's hot. Can't stop even though I'm out here ducking from a cop. You see me as inferior, but I accept it. Coming home, not respected. So I make the woman that I'm not in love with strip naked. Degrade her by beating on my chest, but she's bringing home the check. You got nothing left, so the food that you ingest is the scraps from La Jolla they put in food for less. Shopping, warehouse toxins. We don't even see the cold game leaving off. Building our communities and we ain't got no unity. So Chaldeans come in and sell liquor to you and me. Hating Mexicans when really we should truly see that California's their land. The real intruders, you and me. So wake up. Stop believing the fake stuff. Because on the real, no matter how thick the makeup, I can see the blemishes they try to hide. See, they disguise behind organizations that we take pride in. See, BayPac is really a racetrack. The voice and viewpoints that you and can't erase that. The NAACP will never face facts, so until we come together, we don't always lay back and wait. See, people talking, but I don't really give a damn. Because loose lips are sucking the subtle knuckle sand. See, even Al Sharpton was working for the man, so why depend on anyone depending on the uncle's hand? Plot. We're never going to stop them because there's always another brother to keep the gangs banging. There's always another system to keep the chains clanking. There's always another brother to keep the tracks saying that we're niggas, and niggas is going to keep the tracks playing. Listen to what I'm saying. Slavery is convict leasing. Slavery is stop and frisk. Slavery is fourth waivers. Slavery is sentencing enhancement. Slavery is gang injunctions. Slavery is our brothers thinking we're real niggas. Slavery is trifling mamas spoiled by absent fathers. Slavery is keeping us in a bondage that we can't free ourselves from religion and see that we're all in common. Slavery was Jim Crow. No excuses now you know that slavery still exists, but by another name. Now let's break free. Ashe.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I want to welcome you all here to this Black Lives Matter talk featuring the ever so fabulous and amazing Alicia Garza. We will get to her in a second because I want to do a couple of housekeeping notes real quick, and then I just want to let you all know how this event was put on and sponsoring. So, welcome to the Malcolm X Library for those of you who came for the first time. Don't be afraid to come back. This is in the heart of Southeast San Diego. It's a gem in our community. So I do encourage you guys to come through whenever the library is open. They offer some classes and things like that, so you should definitely visit as often as possible. This event is sponsored by the Macapua Project for Queer People of Color and the San Diego the universities and community colleges across the county. So we want to thank the Mackin Project and San Diego Ethnic Studies Consortium for hosting this and sponsoring this. Now, I just want you all to know a couple of things. One, Black Lives Matter t-shirts are going to be sold over there. They are $12. Can you guys raise your hands? All proceeds are going to the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, that's important because in order to keep a movement moving, we need funding to do that, right? And this is going 100% to the movement, so I'm very thankful for that. The other thing is, if you have to use the restroom, you're going to exit this door to the back and go straight back. They put a sign out there so you know where the restrooms are. The rest of the library is closed off. We want to respect that space, okay? Now, I have the honor of introducing the speaker of our meeting. It is Alicia Garza. She is one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter, which is a national organizing project that is an affirmation and embrace of the resistance and resilience of Black people. She is currently the Special Projects Director at the National Domestic Workers Alliance and previously served as Executive Director of People Organized to Win Employment Rights. That acronym stands for POWER, and that is in San Francisco, California. She has been the recipient of multiple awards for her organizing work in Black and Latino communities. She serves as trusted counsel for organizations across the country looking to build their capacity to lead and win organizing campaigns. When she's not scheming on freedom, I like that. Alicia enjoys dancing, reading, and writing, and I heard her singing over there for a second, and scheming some more. It is my honor to introduce to you, Alicia Garza.
Now, I came up in the 80s, baby. So that means that I came up in the age of neoliberalism. It's a big fancy word for a period where many of the gains that my parents and their parents fought for were systematically rolled back. I grew up under Reagan. I saw the Berlin Wall fall. I actually remember watching it. Jesus Jones did a video about it. Don't remember that right here, right now? Don't know about this. And I also came up in a period where there was a massive attack and assault on Black communities on the drug war. And of course I came up in a period where a once vibrant Black liberation movement, Black is beautiful, Black power, was systematically dismantled. COINTELPRO did a good job. COINTELPRO dismantled liberation organizations, disappeared and tortured liberation leaders, turned leaders against one another, turned leaders into informants for the state. So much so that as a young person coming up, as a child of the 80s, looking for answers to how it is that we transform our conditions, and looking to our elders to talk with us about that. What I found was that there was a huge gap. People don't talk to each other anymore. Some people can't sit in a room together. Now I'm living in Oakland. I've been in Oakland for the last 20 years. I'm born and raised in the Bay Area. So that means I have access to all kinds of folks. My Panther Party was started just down the street from us. Emery, Elaine, Kathleen, folks are around. But when you ask, hey, come and talk with us, come share some lessons with us, sometimes people say, I can't be in a room with those folks. We don't talk. We're still fighting, but we don't talk. That's the context in which my generation is coming up. Now I raise that story because I often hear folks talking about the generational divide. There's some of that. There's also an ideological divide that is the result of neoliberalism, the intentional demise of the Black liberation movement. And it's also a result of folks who got to the table and forgot what they got there for. I'm just going to tell the truth. Just making sure. So that is also the context in which Black Lives Matter emerges. Now, Black Lives Matter was started in 2013 after George Zimmerman was acquitted in the murder of Trayvon Martin. Now, for many of us who heard about the case, we didn't have national attention when Trayvon was killed. And in fact, this is the 3-year anniversary of his murder. Yesterday was. We didn't really hear about it when it happened. There weren't marches and demonstrations, right? When we finally did hear about it, it was because it was so curious. What happened in a community that a 16-year-old child couldn't walk to the store to get Skittles and an iced tea and make it home alive? Because you see, what happened was that there was someone in Trayvon's community who didn't believe that he belonged there. He was suspicious. He was wearing a hoodie, talking to his friend or his girlfriend. We don't really know the nature of their relationship. It doesn't matter. He was on the phone. And someone who aspired to be a neighborhood watch person, took it upon themselves. They weren't even, they were an aspiring security officer. They took it upon themselves to enforce community safety in the community that Trayvon lived in. He stalked Trayvon, followed him, monitored his movements. There was a confrontation, and Trayvon ended up dead. Now there was a trial, and like many of you, I watched the trial from beginning to end. It was like the OJ trial for me. Now, those of us with some consciousness understand a few things about the criminal justice system, if you want to call it that. The first thing that we understand, and I hope you understand this as well, is that the criminal justice system is not broken. It's working exactly as it was designed to work. But again, those of us with some consciousness that know that and understand that, we're still hoping for an aberration in the system. Please, just once. Please, just once. Somebody say that Trayvon's life mattered. The media didn't think so. Because after Trayvon was killed, the media tried to find every reason possible that he deserved to die. They had a whole thing for months about whether or not Trayvon was smoking weed, and that somehow made him aggressive. Now listen. That was suspect from the beginning. Then they went in on his parents. What did they do to create the conditions where Trayvon deserved to die? Can you imagine Sabrina mourning the loss of her child and then hearing on the news that it was her fault? Can you imagine Tracy mourning the loss of his child, trying to hold their family together because, you know, there was another sibling, and then hearing that somehow it was his fault? That's what the news did. And it wasn't just the news, that's what our society did. And so we were waiting and hoping for an aberration in a system that was working exactly as it was designed to work. Now, when the verdict came down, I was at a bar. I was talking with my friends all day long, and we were speculating. Now, again, those of us with some level of consciousness understand how the system works. And those of us with some consciousness also understand that the system is not the answer for our people.
Right.
And yet, as human beings, we have contradictions. And I have to say, quite honestly, I wanted George Zimmerman to be convicted. I did. I don't believe in prisons. I don't. But I wanted him to be convicted. I wanted that aberration. And so we were speculating about what he would be charged with, because of course he would be charged. And so sitting in that bar that night, all the TVs on, waiting for the verdict, when I heard that George Zimmerman had been acquitted, I felt like I got punched in the stomach. And I looked around me, and people started filing out of the bar. And one by one, I watched as black people walked out. And we couldn't even look each other in the eye. Shoulders down, head down. That's the shape of our community. When once again, a system that works exactly as it was designed continues to tell us that our lives don't matter. And so then, I was thinking about, how do I make sense of this moment? It's not the first time. But this time, for some reason, it really sat with me. The reason is, I have a 25-year-old brother. 6'4", he's tall. Huge afro. I mean, it's big. And I'm like picking stuff out of it. Boys. And my brother is a beautiful person. Smart. Sweet. He's talented. Likes to skateboard. He's a talented artist, cartoonist, videographer. Never heard a fly, never been in a fight. And he's coming of age in a community that is not unlike Sanford, Florida. So what do I tell him? I didn't have words then. I do now. 3 years later, I have words. But I didn't have words then. And so to find the words, I went on Facebook, just to see what my community was saying. Because even though I knew, again, that the system was working as it was designed, I really wanted to hear something. Something about what we were going to do together as a community. I did see things. I did. I saw things. Y'all know what I saw. So I saw our conscious folks. I'm one of them. All that analysis, honey. All of it. Why y'all mad? Y'all already know the system don't work for us. So what you thought he was going to be convicted? You stupid. Right? I get it. It's callous. I get it. And then I saw people saying, this is wrong. But the what we should do was off. This is wrong. This shouldn't have happened. And so that's why we need our children to pull their pants up. That's why we need to vote. That's why we need better education. All of those answers. Okay, sit with that. But what I felt was that all of those answers blamed Black folks for conditions we didn't create. I vote. I was telling the team this afternoon, I vote religiously. I have to. I got my mom, my grandma in my ear, like, died so you could vote. So, I say I'm like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't be mad. Cross that little box. Still won't stop. Won't stop it. I don't wear my pants around my ankles. But I'm not mad if you do. I have 2 degrees. I'm working on a 3rd. So it makes sense. I'm telling me I should just go for it again. I will. But how can I say that to my 25-year-old brother, who's so sweet, never heard a fly, works for my parents, does anything you ask him to do? Doesn't matter. If you vote, if your pants are around your waist or around your ankles, how much education you have. I know that because my uncle worked for the Grammys. He was walking down the street in San Francisco, arrested and jailed because you look like someone that committed a robbery. The brother was in a 3-piece suit. history. We have a black president. But still, black people are being murdered every day. So back to that bar. I got angry. I was grieving, but I was also angry. You know, there's the saying, people talk a lot about crabs in a barrel. People often use that phrase to describe black folks. But there's the saying that we talk about crabs in a barrel without acknowledging that the barrel is not the crab's natural habitat.
Right.
So I felt that. And so I started popping off on Facebook. Well, y'all gonna talk, I'm gonna say something. And what I felt in that moment was, we need some love. We need to love on each other right now. And so I wrote a love letter to black folks. And I told us that it's not about how low your pants are. It's not about whether or not you go, how many degrees you have. But that it's about a system that doesn't value us. And so I said, black people, I love you. I love us. We matter. Our lives matter. Black lives matter. Now my sister Patrice in Los Angeles, she was like, yeah, that's it. I feel that. And so she put a hashtag in front of it. Now, later I realized that was a way to continue the conversation, a way for people to join the conversation, and to find the conversation very quickly. So I don't want to denigrate that. But I just want to say, we're not social media activists. I can only use Facebook because it's like a Word document. You know what I mean? Send it off, a letter. It's cute. Put pictures of it and everything. And then a couple of days later, my sister Opal, who happens to be a genius in communications, she said, you know what? This resonated with me too. I feel this. So let's create a platform where we can tell our stories, where we can connect to one another, where we can love on each other. And let's create a platform where we can connect, collaborate, and conspire together, online and offline. Because we're organizers, and that's what we do. My sister Patrice runs an organization in Los Angeles called Dignity and Power Now, which just won permanent civilian oversight of the Sheriff's Department in Los Angeles. That's a big deal. Yeah. That's a big deal. My sister Opal runs an organization called Black Alliance for Just Immigration, because black folks are immigrants too. There's 500,000 of us who are undocumented in this country, living in the shadows. So she works to make sure that black folks are a part of this conversation around immigration reform, which is important. And I, myself, work with the National Domestic Workers Alliance, and I work with black women from across the diaspora to develop our leadership and our vision to create a new democracy and a new economy. Now you can imagine the three of us together saying we want to create a national organizing project. Not a hashtag campaign, but a national organizing project to build a base of people that can fight back against anti-black racism in our society. And that is the genesis and the birth of Black Lives Matter. Now here's what is important to us about this project.